using tracksuit bottoms. Both goal mouths have been sanded to try maybe and give the players extra grip in those areas, but could be an afternoon when mistakes prove costly. And certainly Sunderland can't afford to make any mistakes with a daunting prospect of matches ahead for them. Manchester United and Nottingham Forest away, and then Liverpool at home. This is Pickering, and Sunderland mount their first attack, looking for Worthington, and a moment of hesitation in the middle of the defence by Chris White. And a poor clearance which Sunderland couldn't take advantage of. Cummins was to it first. And that's fallen for Cummins. Sanson is going out to close him down now. But Cummins keen to take him on and still going. It could fall for Venison. And Rowell denied by Jennings. Another good break there by Sunderland. Venison getting the cross in, and it was Rowell turning, but Jennings was across. Hopkins towards Worthington, and got the header to it. Venison steaming into the middle, and now Worthington again with a chance to cross. Pickering is there. Pickering again with a chance maybe to set something up. Munro takes over. Chisholm looking for Venison, but intercepted by Sanson. Venison's got it back. Determined work by the youngster. Gary Rowell now. And that's a goal from Gary Rowell. 9 minutes gone, and Gary Rowell, Sunderland's leading goal scorer, does it again. Venison, all credit for some determined work. It looked maybe as though Rowell didn't have it under control, but he worked the opportunity so well. Maybe a touch there, but it was enough to beat Jennings. And Gary Rowell gets goal number 9. It's Sunderland 1, Arsenal 0. And Arsenal have to respond. Robson slipping away there, trying to still create something. And Gary Rowell perhaps showing the way that players today can capitalise on the awful conditions at Roker. And Arsenal now trying to do exactly the same thing themselves. Taken short. Ricks, and Turner was there. Relieved look on Alan Durbin's face there in the sheepskin coat on the left. Remember, he'd offered to resign before this week's club general meeting. Davis, Alan Sunderland. Nicol watching this one carefully, and belting it upfield. It may not be too bad a ball either, with Pickering getting to it first. Back for Worthington, and Pickering again. And Venison! But Jennings is down at the near post. And Venison's enthusiasm had taken him into a good position then. Terry Neal, the Arsenal manager, chewing gum in the middle, and Don Howe being equally impassive to Neal's right. Now, Nicol towards Worthington. Cummins, and over the bar when a goal beckoned for Stan Cummins. It was Nicol's cross into the middle, and Worthington set up the opportunity, and Cummins snatched at it rather, and over the top it went. Ricks. Atkins pulls it down. That's half-time, and it's not been easy for the players out there, but it must be said Sunderland, who lead by the single goal, have definitely adapted better to the conditions. Gary Rowell exploiting some hesitation in the defence after 9 minutes to give them the lead. But players like Stan Cummins have looked more balanced on this surface, though he squandered a good chance before half-time. Arsenal's shorter ball approach not really paying off at the moment. They trail by 1-0 at half-time. Just in case anybody thinks it's a glamorous life as a TV cameraman, a reminder that it's not always the easiest of jobs, especially when you're perched up, exposed to the elements 100 foot or so up in the air on a cold afternoon in the northeast. Arsenal get the second half underway, kicking from left to right now. And Sunderland straight away winning possession. Worthington fouled there. And Sunderland determined to continue the pattern of the first half, and their persistence in midfield certainly won them more than their fair share of the ball as they try to end a run of 5 consecutive defeats. Munro with the kick, and finally Davis pops it half clear towards Nicol, and the Arsenal defence pushes out in classic fashion and gets the offside decision. To John Hollins. The line Robson, but cut out there by Munro, and Worthington couldn't find Rowell, and Ricks now the chance maybe through here to Woodcock, but Nicol with the tackle. Venison brought down by Rowell. Trying to take on White for speed. May well run out of pitch. He kept it in, but White eventually could play it away. Nicol. Now Venison. Good ball for Pickering. Oh, so close from Nick Pickering. That really would have been a superb goal. Inches in it, and some real skill there from Nick Pickering. Venison's ball brought it down well, and he belted that one, and inches wide of the far post. Play warming up rather now, especially in Sunderland's favour. Worthington, and a fine run from Elliott. Then in the middle, he's delaying for it. Elliott to Rowell, and how, oh how did they miss that one? Well, they always wanted to take a vote on it. And Elliott, who made a superbly judged run from a deep position, slowed down, and Jennings had come out, and Rowell there in the end couldn't deflect it into goal. And you won't get many better opportunities than that if you're a forward. Turn from Worthington. Pickering is running ahead of him. Here's Pickering. Oh, tipped onto the post. But what a great move from Sunderland. Pickering reading the thoughts of Worthington, and a delightful move opening up, but Jennings just managing to get a hand to it, and the shot away off the post. There's Woodcock. Twisting and turning, trying to throw Atkins. Davis with the cross. Munro, though, in command for Sunderland. And Pickering again is away. Denied by Talbot, and he gave it straight back to him. And Rowell could exploit it, and number 2 for Gary Rowell, number 2 for Sunderland. What a mess by Arsenal. Stemmed from Talbot's mistake, exploited by Pickering. White looked as though he cut out the danger, but Gary Rowell, as ever, picks up the pieces. the second goal for Gary Rowell. And Roker Park have something to celebrate. It's Sunderland 2, Arsenal 0, 18 minutes gone in the second half. And now Arsenal have a difficult problem. They haven't scored more than 2 goals in a game all season, and 2 at least they need to salvage a point today. Mainly due to Gary Rowell, and that's goal number 10 for Gary Rowell this season. Well, Peter Eustace on the far right there, the Sunderland first team coach, has only been in charge. This is his 5th game since taking over from Mick Doherty, and still looking for that first win with 15 minutes left, looking comfortable. Oh, that's a terrible kick by Alan Sunderland. He'd been beaten there by Munro, and Mr. Hackett now is straight in there, and what will he do here? Munro seems to have won the tackle at Sunderland, and it really would be difficult to find defence for that. And Sunderland may well consider himself fortunate to escape with just a booking from the referee Keith Hackett. The Arsenal substitute is Lee Chapman, their expensive signing from Stoke, which was of course the Sunderland manager Alan Durban's former club. Munro. And a fine run there from Pickering into the middle from Gary Rowell. Is this to be his hat-trick? It's the hat-trick for Gary Rowell. Superbly finished off, acknowledged by the crowd. The work done by Pickering, who picked out his colleague, and Gary Rowell really one to squander a chance, and not when a hat-trick beckons. So Gary Rowell scores his 2nd ever hat-trick for Sunderland, the previous one 3.5 years ago at St James's Park, Newcastle. It makes the score Sunderland 3, Arsenal 0. A vital win looks certain now for Sunderland. So Gary Rowell, 3 goals that take his season's haul to 11, and a memorable afternoon for him, and a tribute to the way he's coped with the difficult conditions. So Arsenal look to reply again through Ricks, and a brave effort there from Graham Ricks. That favourite left foot of his really showing its capabilities there. Took a long run at it, 2-man wall, bent it there, and only a foot or so away. Rowell. Cummins will chase it, but Samson should get there first. But only just, perhaps. And Ricks now. This is Woodcock. And Chapman looks straight at Chris Turner. It would have been academic, though Lee Chapman would have appreciated the goal as he presses for a regular first-team place at Highbury. Chris Turner was in the right place to deny him. That's the final whistle, 3-0 to Sunderland, and the hero of the afternoon, no doubt about it, Gary Rowell. Scored after 9 minutes, 2 more goals then sealed the victory for Sunderland, who always coped better with these treacherous conditions. Arsenal's careful passing never really threatened. So at last, Sunderland's disastrous run of 10 games without a win comes to an end. 3 precious points for them as they struggle to get away from the foot of the table. And a frustrating Arsenal afternoon for Arsenal, with the scoreline ending Sunderland 3, Arsenal 0. That win.